don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out so much. Also, if you like more of the fashiony side of my content and want to get more personal with me, make sure to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. So head on over and don't forget to show me some love. Good morning for me and my Nespresso machine. But before we get started into the rest of the video, I just want to thank Bellway for sponsoring this portion of the video. You guys know my mornings are so important to me and I take them very seriously. This is the time I always take, I don't care what I got going on, time to make sure I'm taken care of first. This moment right here affects how calm and relaxed I am throughout my day. So it's really, really important to me. So this is the time where I just do everything. One of the things I love doing is having my fiber, and I even have it throughout the day. I learned so much about fiber through my nutritionist. It's so crazy how much fiber can actually do for a person's body, and through the food we eat regularly, especially if we're not eating like more on the nutritionist side, we don't even get a fraction of the fiber we actually need to help our bodies. Fiber helps with so many things, it's not even funny. It removes toxins out of the body, helps regulate the liver, helps regulate going to the bathroom, which you need. I feel like a lot of people don't know this. Your gut health literally affects your entire body. It's like your second brain. Like if that's not going well, you could feel off. It could affect your mood. It could affect your thinking. It helps with your heart, the function of your brain, getting clarity, also your skin, your nails, and things like that. So Bellway offers so many good flavors when it comes to fiber. The flavor is just immaculate. It tastes so good. That's another thing that stands out to me by Bellway. It's really, really hard to find a good tasting fiber. Bellway's fiber is made with psyllium husk, which helps with so many things. It basically nourishes your gut, right? So it helps with bloating, it helps with breakouts, but also the most important thing, especially if you're on like a weight loss journey like I am, it helps keeping you regular, and that is important. Bellway is super easy to add to your routine. You can drink it up to 1 to 3 times a day. Just mix it in with your water. I like to mix it in with my smoothies, anything like that. They also offer Bellway fiber with collagen, not vegan, and vegan protein with fiber. So a lot of options. So I highly recommend. I can't live without my fiber. I've seen such amazing changes, and I know it's due to the changes I've made in my life over the past couple of months, and fiber is one of them. If you'd like to try fiber, I highly recommend, especially if you're on the same journey that I'm on right now. It has helped me tremendously in so many ways. I'll have a link down below, but use code Alexis20 to get 20% off your first order. Definitely check it out. Go try it. If you are looking for a good fiber powder, this is it. I am truly excited about today's video. I feel like I haven't filmed a video like this in a long time. So this morning, I'm gonna take you guys along with me in my morning, but it's not just any old take you along with my morning video. We're gonna talk about something that I feel like a lot of people have been asking me. We're gonna talk about something really serious. We're gonna get juicy, we're gonna open up, and we're gonna be real. We are gonna talk about how I am no longer bothered and how you can also reciprocate that same energy, because living on this side of things is a lot easier. So I don't know if all of you care, but I know some of you do. Some people ask me questions about how I changed my life. Like literally how I went from being one of the most insecure girls that I ever have met, knew, transforming out of that low vibrational era in my life and kind of reinventing myself into who I am today, to a girl that literally does not care what anybody says about me, thinks about me, an opinion they have created in their own mind and their own reality about me, how someone acts towards me, the energy they are spewing my way. It's blocked. I no longer live for other people. I'm completely unwilling to lower my standards to make anybody else feel more comfortable. No. I completely understand when somebody is giving me a true opinion from their heart and from love, or when it's loaded with projection and their own self-insecurities that they have not yet figured out. I no longer listen to people who don't even know who they are and they have stuff they need to deal with. I have become the girl who went from not knowing who she was to completely knowing herself, knowing what I want, fully secure in myself, in my relationships that I hold, and throughout my life. And I was not able to do any of that before. I was suffering. I was the most bothered person on the planet. I promise you. A lot of you might be like, who are you? Why should I listen to you? And you're absolutely right. I'm no one. I don't know why you should listen to me. But if you choose to, and you choose to watch this entire video, I think I have some gems for you. I'm just a girl. I'm just an ordinary girl who's just been through a lot in life. All I'm gonna say is I must have done something in my past life, because girl, it has been tough out here. It has been tough out here. Let's just say I have generational trauma, past trauma that has just been eating me alive throughout my 20s. Just know you can be the person who breaks the cycle. You do not have to continue on that generational trauma. You stop it for yourself for the remainder of your life. Stop it for your children. You can stop it right now. This is your life and you get to create the reality you want for it, no matter what that looks like, no matter what anybody has got to say about it. So I've learned a lot, been through a lot, and I want to tell you how to avoid half the stuff I went through. First things first is dealing with your shadow self. And you guys might be like, I don't even know what the hell that is. I've never heard of that. Neither did I until, why do I look like a black Santa Claus? Like, what the You guys, this is so important. I didn't even know what a shadow self was until I think last year. It was the answer to all my problems. And it is so important to do this and to get this done as soon as you possibly can. I don't care if you've been through nothing in life, you have a shadow self you need to deal with. I learned so much through therapy. I learned so much through talking to other people who's been through the same experiences and how did they heal themselves. And it is literally, truly the first step to healing yourself. According to psychology, your shadow self is the side of your personality that contains all parts of yourself that you do not want to admit to having. It at first is an unconscious side. It is only through effort to become self-aware that we recognize our shadow. It's a dark place within our subconscious mind that contains every taboo thought, feeling, desire, personality trait that you have rejected, buried, or suppressed. Who wants to go there? No one. We feel it, we know it's there. The more we suppress it and try to hide it, it comes out in our actions, our feelings, our thoughts about ourselves, our thoughts about others, our thoughts about the opinion of the world, our thoughts of how others should be, how we should be. So my shadow traits is abandonment issues, right? I never set boundaries. I never thought I was good enough, so I sabotaged myself. A lot of the problems I had resorted to going back to one thing that happened in my childhood. So in facing that, healing that part of myself and dealing with it. Like, seeking help is okay. Talking to somebody about what has happened to you is okay. I seeked out a NLP type life coach therapist, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which kind of shifts the programming that you brought up with in your brain. So that's basically what I did, and you can seek out that. I'll leave more information about that down below, and then also other videos that may be able to help you. But first things first about how to be unbothered is coming to terms with that side of yourself you may not like. Really opens the door to realize why certain insecurities were there, why certain things affected you in the past when they maybe shouldn't have affected you so much. And it helps you be stronger in the present. So if something does come at you, you're like, this energy is not for me. It's gonna trigger something and I cannot be here for that. I gotta go. Therefore, you're less bothered. So step number 2 on how to stop being bothered, completely lower your expectations of other people. Like, sorry mom to expose you, but me and my mom talk about this all the time. I grew up really hurt, right? I was hurt as a child, so I wanted to protect myself from being hurt. And the way I did it was somewhat entitled and overcompensate of certain things, like how people should treat me. Like, I needed to bring that down a little bit. Like, if you treat me slightly the wrong way, I had a problem with you. And I would hold it against you for forever. I would never tell you, but I would hold it against you, or you just knew by my energy and I was giving you that look, you know, the look, and I was just angry. Then I stopped liking the person and then I disappear, and then it just becomes a thing. Like, and I'm like, girl, it wasn't even that big of a deal. Lowering your expectations or just not having any of other people is a life saver. If someone came into your life and said, I expect you to be this, this, and this, and you're gonna do it. And if you don't, I'm gonna have a problem with you. You would be like, excuse you? What are you talking about? That is not how things run around here. So why do we do that to other people? We really do, low-key in our minds, and you know it. You know it. You know you do. You know you don't even play. You know you do. Low-key in our minds, we'd be like,
I expect this person to be this way, this way, this way, this way, change their whole life for me. And if they don't,
I have a problem with it. Like, you're only hurting yourself having those type of expectations on other people. Like, what? You are bound to be more disappointed than you ever are satisfied. And that's just not a way to live. So I feel like if we just go through life coming from a perspective of love, nothing but love for other people, other humans, as they go through their own experience in life that probably isn't easy and we don't understand because we're not living it. If you don't have an expectation, you can't be hurt when you are not let down. This is just to give you an example. I'm sure we all have some family members who are just like, what? We just don't agree with what they do, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Not my immediate family, but like my extended family. I have some questionable characters where I'm just like, how could you be okay with doing some of the things you've done? We hold so much value in what our family is doing, does to us, blah, blah. Because we're related, we're supposed to all be a certain way towards each other or in the world. And when they're not, you're let down and you're extremely hurt. Like, what? But yes, your family is your family, but they're not superheroes. They're not superheroes. At the end of the day, they are human beings trying to figure it out just as much as you are. You gotta ask, are you perfect? Have you made mistakes? Have you hurt somebody and you don't even know you're aware that you hurt somebody? So for me, I just removed the expectation of this, like, we're family, we shouldn't be doing blah, blah, blah. I just removed that because at the end of the day, yeah, my family is my family, but they're also human and they're also gonna make mistakes. That is such a big one, and that has saved me so much hurt. You have no idea. That doesn't mean I go and be with people that I know are not good for me. No, God, no. That is not what I'm saying to do. You just don't need to be around that. Okay, so the next one is one of my favorites. It is stop thinking people care so much about you. Woo! This whole entire video is humbling myself because you guys, I've done all these things, okay? I've done all these things, embarrassing as that is to admit. I still struggle with this sometimes. I really do. Like, I don't know what it is about me that is just so conceited at times where I think everyone and their mom, people who don't even know me, is looking at me, thinking about me, gossiping about me. Like, to the point where I think sometimes I'm delusional. I'm making it up. Like, I'll find a reason to just be upset. Like, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? You know where it all stems from is my own insecurities and the way I think about other people. So I think they probably do the same thing to me. Of course, there is a reality. Sometimes people are actually mean, but most of the time they're not. People care too much about themselves to even be thinking about what you are doing on a daily basis, to have an opinion about it. You're thinking about yourself majority of the day, like managing your own feelings, managing your own thoughts, managing what's happening in your life, the stress you may be feeling that day. You're not caring about that girl down the street and what she's doing, what she's wearing, and if she looks good or not in it. You know what I mean? Not everybody is always consistently thinking about you, how they can get vengeance on you, how they can hurt you. And the reason why I always was a people pleaser, because I didn't want to get hurt, right? So I come from a place of trauma, and one of my traumas is abandonment. So I would always try to being a chameleon, so everybody liked me, so I never would feel abandonment again. It's crazy how your mind, your shadow self, like seeps its way into every aspect of yourself if you've not dealt with that. And now I know when I'm doing that, and I put a stop to it. Another one that I love so much is not allowing things to live rent-free in my head. If something happens to you during the day that you don't like or you wish never happened, you can totally remove the feelings attached to it. You only feel a certain way towards something if you allow those feelings to be associated. You are a human being that has emotions that are beautiful, and you should always allow yourself to feel. That's why we're here on this earth, is to live a human experience and be able to feel. You can change the meaning to situations, which then affects the emotions you have attached to what happened. What do you mean, remove my emotions from this? Did you see what they did to me? I'm gonna be mad for 16 years. I don't care. I'm gonna hold a grudge for 25 years, 78 days, and 9 minutes. I don't care. Let me just tell you, it gets you absolutely nowhere. It gets you nowhere. And they move on with their life unaffected. They don't even care. You probably would talk to them about that situation when they made fun of you or said this to you or did this to you behind your back. They probably won't even remember it 10 years later. They're like, oh, I don't even remember doing that. Did I really do that? Who is it really affecting then? Them? No, you. That is not the way to live, y'all. It is really not. I'm telling you right now. I call it reprogramming your brain. Y'all probably, it's crazy ass bitch. What the f is she talking about? It's a real thing and it helps you. You kind of take these traits that you were given and give them new meanings. If someone does you wrong, you typically react in a way of, oh, I need to protect myself. I need to protect myself. I'm gonna go tell them something. I'm gonna be angry for 6 years. I'm gonna hold a grudge. I'm gonna be bitter. You don't actually have to react that way. Someone can be like, you're so ugly. And you can either be like, oh, I cannot believe they just said that to me. Oh no, girl. You give them that energy, you take it home, you harbor that, it turns into a trauma, and then you're acting out, and anybody that comes into your life that loves you, you think they're gonna act that way towards you, and then you ruin that relationship because you still have not forgiven them, and then it goes on, and it's a cycle, then you give it to your kids. That is what happens over something that happened that you could remove the meaning to it right now. There's many different ways to do it. I literally tell myself that does not have to affect me. Is it that limiting my choices and the things I get to do? No, I'm still free. I'm doing what I need to do over here. Like, does it actually physically affect you? No. So the only way it's affecting you is emotionally. Once you realize half the things people do and say are from their own personal life experience and the projections and insecurities that they have internally, and they're trying to get you to feel the misery they feel inside, you're like, oh. And then you're gonna be able to notice when someone's projecting. They're gonna be sitting right in your face projecting, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, she's like projecting right now. Oh. You have the power over your own emotions, and you choose what affects you and what doesn't. You have to figure out where your safe space is, and you really need to get good at self-talk. If you wanna stop being bothered by people, the first thing you need to do, one of the first things you need to do is set those boundaries. Woo! Oh my God, when I started setting boundaries, I was hated. When I would no longer put up with stuff, when I would stick up for myself, they did not like that. They're like, wait, no, who is this girl? We don't like this confident girl that sticks up for herself. And the crazy thing is, until I set boundaries, I didn't even know these people were around me. You guys, when you start setting boundaries in your life, the real people start coming out. They start coming out, showing their colors. You're like, all I wanted to do was take some time for myself. You're mad? I'm not allowed to do that? Oh, shoot. And what's so beautiful about my family right now is like, we went from having no boundaries with each other to now all realizing that boundaries are beautiful and they're important. They're good for all of us, and they're good for all of us to be able to grow individually and then come back together and grow together. So even with family, it's so important. It's a big one to set boundaries with your friends, set boundaries with your work environment, with your workplace, set boundaries. If it isn't a hard yes, it's a fat no. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no exceptions. There's no, well, maybe. It's a no. It's a no. If you are crossing any one of my boundaries, it's a hard no, and you're gonna hear about it. So what I want you to do right now is get out a list, write out your boundaries. You wanna know exactly what your boundaries are. So if someone crossed them, you don't have to question anything. You're like, am I being crossed right now? Is this making me feel uncomfortable? Is this making me feel unsafe? Is this making me feel unloved? Is this triggering to me? Is this triggering something? Then you know I need to get the hell out of here because it's crossing a boundary. I feel like if you don't set boundaries, you don't know if something is right or wrong, and that's how you get into situations. You don't know if something is fitting for you or not, or if you should have said yes or no or not. But if you know your boundaries and someone comes up to you and crosses them, you'd be like, no, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of that. I'm cool. Thank you. The next thing I want to talk about is being more private, being quick to listen and slow to speak. It's ironic that I'm saying this and I share all my life on the internet. There's a lot of things I don't share. There's a lot of things, I just will not put on the internet. Like, I even slowly want to stop talking about my relationship on the internet, even though that's gonna be hard because I'm just an open book. But I just think, like, even some aspirations and some goals, like, be careful who you share that with. A lot of people will project their insecurities onto your goals, your life. Say if you have somebody in your life, it's in your relationship, friendship, family membership, whatever you want to ship. You have goals, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you're inspired, you want to move forward, and they're here, and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna start lifting up. And you tell them, they're like, oh, but do you think you can really do that? Then you're like, oh wait, can I do that? And you kind of come back down, and they are so happy. They want to keep you in this spot. If you start moving up, they're afraid you're going to leave, so they're going to do anything they can to pull you right back down. Just don't tell them. Work on the low. Get it done on the low. Not everybody needs to know. everything about you. Also, one, you'll be able to get where you want to get a lot faster because you won't have other people telling you what you can and cannot do and placing insecurities that were not there, now there because you told them and they placed an insecurity inside you. Keep it to yourself and move forward. Now, if you have positive people around you that uplift you and you need the encouragement and you know they're going to uplift you, of course, tell them. Know your surroundings of who you can share with and who you can't. It's going to save you a lot of hurt, a lot of time. And one thing is just like talk less. Just talk less. Like, don't be so quick to share your opinion about something. Like, make sure when you say something, it's with value. You're gonna speak life into somebody. Like, we have enough of people speaking ill into other people. We don't need another one. We don't need more. We don't need another one. I was at a point in my life where I loved drama. I would talk about anybody who, just for the sake of talking about somebody. If someone brought up something, I wasn't even involved, and someone came to me like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I would be giving them advice, bashing the other person, and they could have been the ones doing something wrong. I wasn't even there. Like, why am I talking about this? Like, why am I involved in this situation? What am I doing? And I would do that. How embarrassing when I look back. Like that, what? You will not catch me doing that today. I feel like if you are consistently gossiping around everyone around you, something is going on in your life that says so much about a person. If someone is consistently sitting there talking about somebody else and what they're doing with their life, it has become one of my worst pet peeves. Like, I get the occasional, like, can you believe this girl did that to me? Like, I can't, and someone's venting to you. I get it. I get the occasional, but you know the difference between someone's like saying something like, oh wow, I can't believe this happened, to wow, look at that. She thinks she's all that, blah, 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 blah. There's a huge difference. And if you're around people like that, or if we have to be honest with ourselves and we're doing that, there is something internally that you are not dealing with, that person isn't dealing with, you are hurting, you want to make everybody around you feel just as miserable as you do inside, you're looking for validation, you want somebody to side with you, which means there's something deeper going on that relates to deeper trauma, you're trying to fill a void. It can be so many things wrong. We've all been in a situation where you've caught yourself gossiping about somebody, like, and you shouldn't have been. You shouldn't have been. Like, from now on, with the friends that I have in the future, I will have my friends back all the way, all the way. If something's not right, something's not right. But I'm not gonna be sitting there with my friend if she's fighting with some girl down the street and I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, no. When you are that type of girl that put down everybody around you at all costs, be the center of attention at all costs, get what you want no matter who it affects or who it hurts, people notice that. And guess what? You live your whole life bothered. Everything anybody does is going to trigger you if you're like that. So if you are that girl and you find yourself like, ooh, I kind of do gossip a little bit. Ooh, I do get triggered and bothered by what other people do, even if it has nothing to do with me. But why? For me, it was like, I was unhappy with my own life. You got to be fully aware of that and be willing and vulnerable enough to admit that to yourself. Like, ooh, sometimes I can be that girl. And the second you make that shift and you start being the girl that is the life of the party, and when I say life of the party, I mean the light, the love, the girl who's just like down for whatever, who's lifting everybody up. Like, you know those people you see who just the light shines in them. You're like, oh, I want some more of that. People will like you more. It's so funny. People try to be cool by putting other people's down, and for other people, it's like, everyone actually is looking at you like, dude, shut up. Like, what is that? Like, nobody actually wants that energy. Like, no one thinks that stuff is cute when you're doing that at all. Trust me, people are going home and thinking like, oof, I won't be hitting that girl up, or oof, I won't be around that person. Instead, you gravitate towards that one person that's out, that are just like, they're complimenting everybody. They feel good. They come up to you like, girl, you look beautiful. Oh my God, what's your name? They make everyone feel like they're the only one in the room, right? They give them validation. They make them feel loved. And just listen, be a person that listens, right? It's just such a kind and loving trait to have. I feel like you will attract more of that, people willing to listen to you if you need it more in your life, because that's how you are, and you attract the same type of people that think that way. When you're more private and less likely to share everything that's going on in your life, you're not as exposed to people saying what they want. You're just not bothered. You see where I'm going in this video? You see all of the things end up to being like, oh, so I don't actually have to be bothered. So the next thing I want to talk about is living for yourself. This is probably the best one. Getting to the point of living for yourself takes true growth, understanding really who you are, diving deep, getting to know yourself one-on-one and what you truly love and what you truly don't love. Sometimes if you need to, you can do this. You can get out a list and writing things that you truly love and what makes you truly happy, and removing all outside opinions is so important. So what that can look look like in life is figuring out who you are, what you want to do with your life, and what that looks like. So maybe write it down. Maybe write it down. And if anybody comes with an outside opinion trying to tell you what to do, what to wear, how to look, how to speak, where you should be in life by now, what you should be doing, it will not affect you because you know personally how you want to live. You know what makes you truly happy. I know it's really, really hard when your parents are like, well, we want you to go to school, or we want you to do this, we want you to be a doctor, and you're like, I just don't want to do that. Please do not do that. Please do not live for your parents. I know it's a big one. Do not live for the expectations of a life that your friends think that because they live a certain way, you should too, or anybody in your life. You should completely live for yourself. Well, that's figuring out what makes you happy. You are just the most unbothered girl on the planet. I feel so much better now that I'm ready. I have a really busy day. I hope you got nothing but value from this video. I hope you feel better. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel ready to just go out there and get it. I know you do. So let me know down below if this helped you, if you like this, how you feel about it. If you want more, I have other videos around topics like this that I want to dive deep into. If you have an Instagram right now and you like following influencers and that's kind of your vibe, go follow me. Help me get to 10K. It would mean the world. Like stop right now. Let's all take a second. Go follow me. I'm settling here in Portugal, and so it's gonna be a lot of content on there. So head on over, have it linked down below. Follow me on Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the morning with me, having a little girl time. I think I wanna do more of these, but I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.